working. All right. All right. It's in. All right. I think where's this? Okay, what's this? Set up a meeting with your.
Mine says live up in the corner.
All right, so we are live. We are live. So
awesome.
Hi guys, super excited to see you guys here. We are here for our dental boss spotlight. Dr. Tanisha, are you seeing? Is it saying live there?
Mine says live up in the corner. So
awesome. So I think we are good to go. Let me just check my app. As we're coming on, if you are seeing us, if you can just say we are live, if you can say a quick hello and let us know where you guys are coming from, and you're absolutely live. We're good to go. So I am really excited, guys. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing something special, and we're actually going to be doing this on a really regular basis. And what we have tonight is what we call our Dental Boss Spotlight. So what this is actually featuring doctors who have had major transformations in their practice, in their personal life. And the purpose of this is really to help them to share their story, to inspire you to know that we're all just people trying to do our thing. And so really, really excited to have you. Dr. Moore, how are you? What's going on?
Hey, I'm good. Lots going on actually. Always busy. That's the life of a dental boss, right? You got an office to manage, you got a team to manage. If you're a mom, you have kids and home to manage. So a lot going on, but all things considering, going well. So I'm very, very thankful right now.
Awesome. And yeah, before you got on, we were talking, you're like, I had to tell my daughter, like, I had to come outside, to record.
I did. So, I apologize if there's noise in the background. I thought you guys would be able to hear like the traffic, but Anissa assured me that she does not. But now there's some insect behind me that has decided to start making noise, and it sounds really loud to me. So, okay, perfect. Because I'm like, really? Like, you decided to interrupt my interview?
No, but the thing is that, like I was telling her, is like, that's real life, right? Like we are wearing so many hats, right? So we are dentists, we're, the boss, or, we're the leader in our practice. We come home and we're mom, or we're dad, we got kids. Like this is real life. And so, and it's real. Right. And so thank you for being real with us today. So before we get started, and I love this growth and transformation that I've seen personally in you over the last few years. Like you're freaking rocking it. Your mindset is awesome. And a lot of things have happened within your practice. But if you can just let people know a little bit about like who you are and where your practice is located, maybe how long you've been practicing, how many team members you have, just to give a little bit of insight.
So my name is Tanisha Moore. For some reason, I am frozen. Are you getting me?
You're good. We can still hear you.
Okay, I was saying it was freezing on my end. I'm Tanisha Moore. I have been practicing for 18 years total. I practiced in Memphis for 9 years before I moved back to Ohio. I have owned my own practice in Springfield for 5 years, a little over 5 years. Currently, I have 4 team members. We recently lost our hygienist, so that has made things extremely hectic and crazy in the office. But all things considered, we are all rallying and pulling together. My team is just doing a wonderful job of just staying the course, making things work, adjusting the schedule where needed, and just stepping up and doing what they need to do. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, and we talked about that before,
yeah.
and it was interesting because I actually got notice today from a team member that's been with me for like over 10 years. And what was interesting is that it was because she's a single mom, and it just got a little difficult for her to homeschool and everything. And I was just like, first of all, I just want to have gratitude for you, because you've been with us for so long and you've contributed so much for the practice. And I said, and I'm happy for you. Like she's found something actually in dentistry that she'll be working online. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to miss you. But I said, I understand. And And I realized, like I told you before, like, fortunately, we always cross train. So we've got one or two people that we can move up and give them a promotion and move them into that position. But like the mindset of a business owner, or know of what you have right now, is just like, you know what? It is what it is. And we just keep moving. And that's part of owning a business. Like there's going to be times when we have to, get in and we have to do more than what we sometimes have to do. We have to get in and do the hygiene, or, and it's just a mindset, whereas it's not like, oh, the world's falling apart because, a team member is not going to be with us anymore,
Right. One of the things that I said to one of my team members, because she was really stressed. She does a lot of our scheduling, and she was like, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to focus on the positive. That's where we're going to stay. We're just going to stay focused on the positive. Let's try to stay focused on as much positive each day as we can. And that's what's going to keep pushing us through.
Awesome. So let's push back a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe push back another back a year, or back 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear like how you're speaking and your mindset. And I'd love to kind of, if you're okay with it, kind of take you back, or take us back, or take everyone back to a few years ago. We have the honor and privilege of working with you in Platinum. And so I've seen a lot of growth. And it's interesting because when people come in, a lot of times, what we actually, as business coaches or as coaches, and it could be a coach with anything, right? It could be a coach in sports. A lot of times what we have to actually work on first is actually the mindset, right? The mindset of you should not be doing everything in your business, or the mindset of the world is not going to fall apart if you lose a team member. And so it's been really, really exciting to see your growth. And so I'd love for you to talk a little bit to help others understand, like, kind of where you were and kind of some of the shifts that have happened, kind of what you went through, and kind of where you are
now. So when I bought the practice, there was not a whole lot going on. I inherited 2 employees, and just seemed to kind of be struggling with trying to grow, trying to get, build, a team. I would get somebody, and then a year in they would leave. I would get somebody, and a year in they would leave. Not having any systems in place. There was a office manual, but nobody used it or referred to it. And I really wanted the business to be successful. And I knew that I didn't have training I had no business training whatsoever. When I had my business in Memphis, it was just kind of a fly by the seat of my pants, try it and see what happens. Sometimes it turned out good, sometimes it didn't. And I didn't want to do that the second time around. So I happened to come across, I think it was the summer giveaway challenge or something that you did.
Marketing Practice Growth Challenge.
Yeah. And it was like, what, $37 or something, and usually because being a business owner, I'm always very, very mindful about my nickels, dimes, and pennies. So I was like, you know what, this is $37. It's $37. If I can't spend $37 to take a chance to better myself, then why am I doing this? So I did it. And like the response that we got online from like the community was like big. And I was like, whoa, guys, like this could be something that could be good for us. So we signed up for the program, and I had my team start doing the training. And at first they were not really on board, but I think the more we did it and the more they started seeing changes in the practice, not just in the practice, but with the way we do things and the way patients were responding to what we do things. And it started to help shift their mindset. And I think also the change in me, the additional insight, the additional learning, the additional training that I did to make me better as a leader, not a boss, but a leader, because I don't want my team to look at me like I'm their boss. I can get in there and get, dirty up to my elbows just like they can. I can flip rooms. I can do anything that they can do. And I never want them to think that I'm above them or that I'm better than them. Like, we're all part of the same team. So I think that helped in transitioning us to where we are now, whereas like we're all there for each other. We are all there to offer help and support to each other, regardless of what our actual roles are in the practice. Our current struggle with, losing our hygienist, we are a small office. We have 3 ops. That's it. So normally 2 run production and 1 runs hygiene all day. And losing a hygienist was kind of a huge blow because it's just, we lost a producer. And as everybody knows, hygienists right now are, they're like unicorns, they're they're hard to find. So we have been making adjustments. We do occasionally get a sub come in and help us, but not regularly. So we've just been modifying the schedule. And like I said, I have to get in there and, get my hands dirty too. So on a day where I would normally be doing admin stuff or running appointments and doing things outside of the office, I was in there running multiple columns of hygiene today so that my patients don't fall behind on their, recall schedule. So all of that being said, I'm really happy where our team is right now. I'm happy with the relationships that they've built with each other and the relationships that, I've been able to build with each of them individually and as a team. I look at my team as like my second family. So one of the things that we recently implemented was team dinners. I took the team just for, like, hey, let's just go have like, a team date night, and we all went out and ate at the local Mexican restaurant and had a good time and didn't talk about work the whole time. Like, it was just a good time, and it was not centered around patients or the office. It was just enjoying each other's company. So I thought that was really nice. And I am really looking forward to seeing how this next year plays out. One of my team members is actually due with her baby in November, and I have another team member that is due with a baby in May. And she's also just started her EFTA school, which is depending on what state you're in. Some of them are EFDA, which is expanded function dental assistant, or EDDA, which is expanded duties dental assistant, I think, in other states. But essentially what it is those are the assistants that can place fillings for you, which will obviously be a huge boost for our practice to have a second EFTA in our midst. So I'm super excited for her. And I think she was worried that she was going to get fired when that started, because it meant that she was going to have 1 day a week away from the office. And she was like, I know that when I came in, and I know what the schedule is. And I was like, we'll get through it. It's 1 day a week. We'll figure it out. And if we have to modify the schedule a little bit, it's fine. I said, when you got hired, one of the things I told you is that I want to see you be successful. I want to see you grow. I want to see you increase your knowledge and your skill. And this is how you do that, So I really wanted her to be encouraged and not feel like, her job was threatened because she was trying to better herself. So I'm really looking forward to see what this next year brings for us.
That's really exciting. And there was actually a comment in one of the Facebook groups that I commented on, or I can't remember if it was in our group, and it was talking about like, how do you get your team to become loyal, right? Mm-hmm. Is it by, giving them a bunch of money? Like, that was the question. What sort of incentives do we need to give our team in order to get them to perform, right? And what was really interesting is, like, for me, what you just said is gold. I mean, how many of us in our own lives have been in a position, I know I have, where I've left the job because I didn't feel like I had the opportunity to become better and grow. And
Right.
so, when I've been in places where people are like, you're amazing. Like, I want to invest in you because you're so awesome. That makes you feel good. Right. And so
Yeah.
all of a sudden that builds loyalty to the point where, like, if somebody came and said, I would give you $1 more an hour, you're like, no, I'm actually good here because they believe in me here. Like,
Yeah.
this is where I need to be. And so I think that's really very powerful what you just said.
I am a firm believer in that, because if my team can better themselves overall, that's ultimately going to better the practice. And then one of the other things that's kind of a big deal for me as a mom is that we are very family oriented. I had a team member recently came to me, almost in tears, because there was kind of a little snafu with school. Her first baby is going to kindergarten this year. And there was supposed to be like a before and after care thing through the school. And she went and signed her child up and got all of the paperwork. Nobody said anything to her. They let her leave with everything. And then she found out, like, 1 or 2 days before school started, that the before and after care was full and that her child was waitlisted. And she was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, school starts at 8:10. We open at 8:00. She was like, I don't know what I'm going to, I said, it's okay. I said, this is a temporary, like, I like to say, it's a temporary glitch in the matrix. We'll get through it. You'll take your baby to school and then you'll come straight to work. It will be okay for 30 minutes, because it wouldn't take her but 15, 20 minutes to get there after dropping her child off. And she came to me later and she was like, thank you. She said, I was so worried and I was so stressed. And my mom told me to stop freaking out about it, that you would make sure that it was okay. She was like, and I don't know why I couldn't wrap my mind around that. She said, but thank you. That really means a lot to me, that my team knows that I have their back, and in turn, that makes me feel like if they know they've got security with me, then they will help me to feel that same security with them, and I feel like it goes both ways. So
I love that story. That's wow. I got goosebumps listening to that. That was so amazing. So let's talk a little bit about your growth, right? Because
okay.
you have grown quite a bit, right? So I'd love for you to share a little bit about your growth and what was the contributor to it.
I'll be honest, a lot of it was stepping outside of my comfort zone a lot. Very frequently. And when I first started doing the program, and it was so much information so fast, and I felt so overwhelmed, and I was ready to just quit. I was just like, I can't do this. It's too much. I can't handle all this with everything else I've already got going on. And believe it or not, it was Whitney who helped me to refocus, like having kind of this outside voice of reason to just kind of reel me back in and say, okay, don't try to take it on all at once. Let's do it in smaller chunks. And that was really all I needed, was just a little bit of guidance. But along the way, that guidance has turned into that little nudge, that little push, like, this is what you're capable of, or if I would say, I want to do this, no, you're going to do this, speak it into existence, believe it. And I think that honestly has made a big, big difference for us. I will tell you, I just looked in an email earlier for the reports that we get from Dental Intel, which, by the way, awesome tool for helping you keep track of things for your practice. I got the monthly report for August, and compared to last year, this year compared to this time last year, we are actually a little over $200,000 more than what we did at this time last year. So the continuing to push outside of my comfort zone has really made a difference. It really has. I have a quick question though, because it looks like it's getting dark out here. Can you still see me?
You're good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So it's really been that stepping outside of my comfort zone, stepping outside of what I'm familiar with. I don't like doing things like this. I don't like being live on social media and doing things like that, doing lives. I've gotten a little bit better with it. They still make me super, super nervous, but just doing more things that I'm normally not comfortable with, putting myself more in a spotlight and making it a point to just do a little bit more, just do a little bit more. And each time it makes things a little bit better. So it's really just that extra little push outside of my comfort zone. I think that's really made the biggest difference.
All right, guys. So did you hear what she just said? Like, she just kind of glossed over it, like 200,000 more in August from a year ago. I mean, that's freaking insane. That's amazing. So I just want to congratulate you for really doing the work and, you know, really stepping into leadership and really allowing your team to become leaders and investing in yourself and investing in them so that they can have training and really just having the mindset and really believing what's possible in your practice, which is what we talk about a lot, right? Like,
Absolutely.
how do we change those statements of I can't to how can I statements? Incredible.
Well, I will tell you, one of the things that I struggled with the most, and I do still struggle with it sometimes, but I am so much better at it now than I used to be, is delegating. I used to not delegate hardly anything because, I mean, let's just be real, transparency, I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to my business. And I had to start learning to delegate and trust my team members to do what I know they can do. And when I did that and I started giving them the responsibility and the autonomy for it, they really blossomed. And it took a lot of, you know, what I would say menial tasks, things that I don't need to be doing. It took a lot of that off my plate. So that gave me the ability to focus on some other things as well. And I think that also really made a difference. Is again, a big step out of my comfort zone, because for me to delegate and relinquish control of certain things that's huge for me. So
I love that. And that's one of those core foundational pieces that are absolutely necessary, right? And all of the frameworks that we teach, that's one of the core ones that we look at the very beginning. Like, if you want to have the ability to scale and grow a business, you cannot do all of the things. If you want to earn more, you can't do all of the things. If you want to have more time freedom, if you want to not be overwhelmed, you can't do all of the things. And so I'm happy that you were able to actually let go of control and allow your team to step into leadership. And I mean, obviously you have all reaped the rewards, which is incredible. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm really proud of, you know, me, but I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of, you know, what they have done, because they in turn, you know, make things easier for me. So
yeah. Awesome. Good stuff. Any last words as we're coming to the end of the interview? Any last words or advice of someone who might be where you were a few years ago? You know, what sort of advice would you give them?
I think my biggest advice to someone who would be where I was a couple of years ago would be take a chance. Take a chance to learn something new that's outside of the realm of what you normally do, and go on and step outside of your comfort zone and see what happens. You know, have a little bit of confidence in yourself and kind of step out on faith. You know, just step out on faith and do the work and it will start to pay off. Some of it you'll see right away, but some of it you won't see until obviously later. Like I said, this year, where we're at this year versus last year or even the year before, is, it's here versus here. And it's been such a transformation, and to see things coming to fruition in my practice. One of the things you made us do was a vision board, and my vision board is hanging on the wall in my office. And there are things I put on that vision board that are now a reality for me, just 2 years later. There's still so much on it that I still need to accomplish, but it makes it real. It makes it tangible, and it makes it something that you see and that continues to push. So vision board was out of my comfort zone. It was not something that I was like, this is not going to help me. But it totally has. So that's, I guess, my biggest takeaway from it, and my biggest push towards other people. If they're questioning their abilities, take a chance on yourself. Because if you're not going to take a chance on yourself, then how do you expect someone else to? You got to believe in yourself.
Wow, very, very powerful words. So hope you guys are listening. Well, Tanisha, I just want to thank you so much for showing up tonight. Yes. And for saying yes to get out of your comfort zone, because you know what? There's somebody who's listening right now, and they are where you were a few years ago. And so what it does is it inspires someone to say, you know what? I can do this too. And so thank you. It's so powerful. That's why for me, I'm not an extrovert. I've told you that before. I'm an introvert, but I know, even when I speak on stage, it's not easy for me, but I'm like, there's somebody that needs to hear my message. And so tonight, somebody needed to hear that message. And
well,
so
I thank you so much for the opportunity. I was really surprised when I got the email asking me to do it. And I was like, sure.
Well, you're doing amazing. So thank you so much for inspiring others, and congratulations on your huge, huge success.
Awesome.